you. How are you doing? Happy Wednesday. Happy Wednesday. It must be 11 a.m. Central Standard Time because here we are again, Monday through Friday. If you didn't know that we did this, like we've been doing this for over a year now. This has really developed into like this community of women who are like crushing insulin resistance and getting so many really good results. Like you guys are amazing. You outperform me every single day. Like it is amazing. So if you don't know who I am, my name is Kirsten Liebelt, and you can always put a 1 in the chat and let me know like you've never seen my face before. That just helps me to know who I'm chatting with. But I was actually raised by a type 2 insulin dependent dad. He was Italian. And I grew up in this really large Italian family that had all this amazing food. Can anybody resonate with that? Like so much good food, so much goodness. And it led to so much obesity and type 2 diabetes. And we were just kind of like a wreck when it came to our health. And so my dad dies at 63 years old. I'm only 30 at the time. My littles, my babies were 6, 3, and 6 months old. They completely missed out on their Italian grandpa, this eccentric man who would have made them laugh forever because he was so eccentric. I mean, my stars, if you just don't even know. So I grew up in a suburb of Minneapolis. And my dad was known in the neighborhood for walking around in like tube socks with black dress shoes and like an undershirt, and maybe some Hawaiian shorts. And that's how my dad was out there gardening in the neighborhood. He was very eccentric. Basically, he didn't care. He had a really big dose of, I don't care what you think of me. And he would go out there because he had peppers and tomatoes. Like that's all he grew. And then he would harvest them and bring them into the garage, and he'd have these huge piles and he'd be like, take my picture. That was my dad. Okay. So anyway, so every day we talk about insulin resistance, and I'm very, very passionate and opinionated. So if you don't like that, then don't hang around because you're going to get a little dose. Almost always. Good morning, Terry. So good to see you. Okay. So this is what I wanted to do today. I have been noodling on this, and I want you guys to like be the first to know. Did I say this in my stories? I might have mentioned it in my stories already. Okay, so you're kind of the second to know, sort of, kind of. But anyway, maybe most people haven't listened to it yet anyway. So I have this group, Ditch Insulin Resistance for Women, where we lay out, we've done this now for 2 full years, you guys. We've done like a 5-day reset every single month. We have another one scheduled for Monday. It's coming up on Monday, you guys. It's Wednesday. It's coming up on Monday. June is starting on Sunday. I don't know if you guys know this. I was talking to some people last night. I'm like, oh my gosh, Memorial Day is gone. So guess what? That means I'm going to blink and it's going to be September. And I'm like, I'm not ready for that. So some people were like, summer's only just begun. And other people in the conversation were like, oh no, it's over now. I'm like, because don't we have filled in weekends? Don't we have like our calendars get super duper full with all of the things, the weddings, the graduation parties? Maybe some of those are over now. We have 4th of July, and we have traveling, and maybe there's camping and weddings and family reunions, and the list goes on. And then pretty soon we turn around and it will literally be tomorrow. School supplies will be in the store. Like that's how this is going to go, right? So when I was thinking about this, I'm like, I do not want my girls. That's you. I do not want my girls to have a summer where it's just poof, gone. And they didn't feel like they took any ground at all. And in fact, maybe they feel like they totally lost traction. They lost momentum because they just didn't overcome the barbecue, the picnic, the 4th of July, the wedding, etc., the traveling. I think that's probably the hardest piece. It took me a while to get my ducks in a row for all the traveling that we do, and figuring that out and being able to like succeed now. I literally succeed. For a long time, I did not so bad, not as bad as usual. And then I would kind of go to, okay, well, I'm overcoming like maybe just a little bit. And then pretty soon it got a little bit better. And I'm like, oh, I totally maintained. And then now it's like, I'm on the other side. But understand what I'm saying to you. Like, I am you. We're the same. We have to take things in steps, and we have to take things in like pieces to our puzzle, right? So let's do that for the summer. Okay. This is what I want to do for you guys this summer. So this is just, it's going to be in the group. It doesn't cost anything. It's just something I want to be able to help to keep you guys on track. So the entire 90 days of summer, when we go June, July, and August, what if we did, like, we set fire to insulin resistance for the summer? Okay. So we're going to do, let's see here. Hold on. I want to do a summer of fire. Summer of fire. Okay. So if you're looking at the summer and you are thinking, like, how am I going to do all of the things and have any traction or gain any ground? Like, I want to be able to set up a structure for you that's super simple, where you don't have to feel overwhelmed. And remember how we talk about all the time that mindset is such a key to everything that we do. Well, I feel like I don't get to talk to you guys enough about mindset. And I know that when I do, you guys get really excited about that, because you want to know that you can journey without shame. So put in the comments below, like, what would be, if you could have a goal of any goal this summer, what would that be for you? Would that be to lose weight? Would that be to get off of a med? Would that be to, you want different labs in the fall? Some of you are definitely lab watchers. What is it for you? Like, where do you want to be in September? Just put it in the comments below. I'd like to see the response of people, like, to know where you guys want to go. Okay. Because this isn't about me. This is about you. Okay. So, and you're wondering, like, maybe how you're going to stay on track with health while you're traveling, you're juggling life. You want to enjoy summer. Like, nobody wants summer to suck. Nobody wants that, including myself. I've got 4 trips on the books, and I don't plan on sucking at all for this entire summer. So this live is for you. If you really do want to set fire to your health this summer, like, you want to light a fire under your health this summer, and you don't want it to get away from you, let me know who you are. I would love to know. I would love to know. So what if I told you that you didn't have to do like this full-blown reset? Like, oh my gosh, it's going to be burdensome and it's going to be hard. What do I say all the time? What if this is easier than you think it is? What if this is not as mountainous as you think it is? Wouldn't that be great news? I mean, wouldn't that make you feel like maybe there's a little bit of hope in the air that you could make a difference? Remember, I talk about my my client last summer. She started in July. She was only using one pillar of the total body reset, only one pillar. And she went from lab result with a 6 point something A1C. I don't like to give numbers if they're wrong. A 6 point something. And then in January, so only 6 months later of consistency, she ended up with not diabetic put in her chart. So everybody has a different goal, and I understand that. But what if I told you that you could have changes in your weight, your energy, your A1C, your blood sugar? Like, what if that was all true, right? What if you could actually reverse insulin resistance this summer with like just 3 small daily choices? Like, it was not even hard, and you could do it in community. And remember, the core value of our community is no shame. Has to be. Otherwise, I would have never changed out my stuff. If I was constantly putting myself down for every step that I took, I wouldn't be here today talking to you. There's no way. There's no way that I could have made the changes that I needed to make and continually live with the shame of past choices or the shame of what rises up inside of you around food. Because come on, we don't fix emotional triggers overnight. We don't fix like stress triggers, boredom triggers, habit, like I had a habit of, well, my husband and I both did. Every time we would travel and take road trips, we would spit seeds. I know. It's not for everybody, but we love sun seeds. And it got to the point where literally every time I got in the car, we were just doing, that's just what we were doing. It was just, I don't know, don't just think I'm weird, and that's okay. I'm good with it. Just think I'm weird. But it just became such a habit. But do you know that eventually I'm like, this is totally stalling out my weight, like all the time. What am I doing? And so I had to shift a habit, like no big deal, right? But I couldn't shame myself about it. Like I had to be way past that. So let's get you way past triggers and way past all of that stuff. Okay. But anyway, so I've been running the 5-day challenge. We're still going to have the 5-day challenge on June the 2nd through the 6th. This is all about, it's all in the group, Ditch Insulin Resistance for Women. And you can totally be a part of that. That's free. I will be in the group at 3 p.m. Central Standard Time, Monday through Friday. We will go through ingredient trade outs. We'll go through pantry and refrigerator reveal. We'll go through targeted supplementation. We'll do a recipe. And this is how I know that I've been able to help you guys stay on track monthly. But now what I want to do is for this summer, let's stay on track weekly. So let's add into that just a tiny bit, okay? And this is what this would look like. Where, you know what, Monday, maybe we start out Monday and I can come in with some mindset. And I can help you maybe just take down the week. Some of you, a month is too long to be able to like take down a month, okay? But if we did something like that and you had things that you could track every day and then you could check in every day on the daily post, things like that, I feel like this would really, really, really help you. When I did protein yesterday, you guys really had a great response to that. You were like, this is so helpful to know what to eat, what kind of protein, how to view protein. Like this was really helpful because you're wanting to make, like, you want to break that stall or you want to actually take ground, and you know you've been listening to all of the noise out there that's giving you bad information like all the time. Sometimes it's from the medical community. Hello. And sometimes it's from just influencers or just people online just making crap up about how to eat keto. And I'm just saying, like, that's why I didn't talk about it for a really long time. But there are better ways. I'm telling you, there are better ways. So I asked myself, what is the simplest and most powerful thing that we can do together to actually move the needle on insulin resistance and still enjoy life this summer? Like, what if you could just do both? Like, hello. Then you don't come to September and go, oh my stars. Now I'm going to barely get started to figure this out, and then Christmas will be here. And it's such an icky feeling to feel like you're defeated before you even start, you know, but we can turn this around, and I can resource you with some really good ideas and stuff like that. So that's when I created something that's now called, we're going to call it the Summer of Fire. The Summer of Fire. Who wants in on that? You have to put me in the comments. Good morning, Sherry, Sharon, Sherry. Who was on my mind this morning? There was a Sherry on my mind this morning. Sharon, good morning, Canada, my Canadian peeps. I love my Canadian peeps. Okay, so Summer of Fire. We've already been talking, you guys, if you've been hanging out for just a little bit. We have been talking about this. I wanted to take, like, this is where my brain has been, okay, about the last 60 days or so. Okay, let's take my journey, and I talk about it all the time, so you know bits and pieces of my journey. Let's take my journey and let's put this into a nutshell so that there's got to be a way that I can disseminate and kind of like duplicate on a greater scale. Some of you have way surpassed me, what I did. It took me like 3 to 4 years to trade out my foods. I was super slow. I was doing it on my own and all of these pieces. And so then 2 years ago, when we started the group, it was very much like, okay, now let's have a community where women can plug in, and then let's see what's important to me. Well, one of the biggest pieces of that for me was really walking my journey without shame. Because we want to just sometimes be really mean to ourselves. We're kind of our own mean girl. Does anybody know what I mean when I say that? Like, we're kind of our own mean girl, well, you aren't very disciplined and it's never worked for you before. And you've always been the worst dieter. And, you just get all whatever you eat when you're bored and you eat when you're stressed and you're never going to change this and you're never going to change that. And, your size is never going to change, whatever. We're so mean to ourselves. And so I was like, so that was a very big core value. And I wanted to be able to talk about that with you all the time. And then this last 60 days, I'm like, how do I take my steps and put them into something that can actually be broken down? And I came up with FIRE. We talk about this a little bit, right? So F stands for food. And that's what I did yesterday when I talked to you guys about how to properly see protein and not just to eat all the bacon in the world, because that's a keto food, but instead how to have, good lean proteins, but yet obviously we're not fat free because that'd be crazy pants. We don't want that. Our hormones don't want that. Okay. So food, and then insulin smart supplementation, because you've got to detail your body like you detail your car. But the good news is that you can, that's what you should be thinking in your head is like, I didn't even know that I could do that. I didn't even know that I could be so specific towards insulin smart supplementation that it would shift the way my body actually processes, the way that my cell can finally open up to insulin. Like, you have no idea how important that is. Like, I know I'm a nerd. I know I'm a geek. I get it. But when you are resistant and your cell is closed for business, all of that extra insulin turns into, it's all inflammation and it's all storing fat. And you then are frustrated and you're like, God, when will this ever change? It must be because I am just a weight loss loser. It must be because I look at a donut and I gain weight, and you start telling yourself all this stuff. I'm broken. I'm just broken. And I want to be like, no. Listen. You're not broken. Your cells are screaming for help. Like, infuse us with what we need. Give us the raw materials that we need to open up, to receive insulin, so we can stop storing fat, especially in the belly, right? So dang frustrating. I mean, I lost 3 sizes in my 50s, right? So I went from a 2X down to a large. But the thing is that I have kept it off. Because this was never meant to be a roller coaster. This was meant to be a metabolic healing journey. And when you give yourself permission, God, you guys fire me up. I haven't even posted Terry's testimony yet. I haven't even posted it. She just texted it to me 2 days ago. See if I can find it. But when you can give yourself permission to actually journey, I am telling you, all of a sudden there's a freedom in that, because now what you are doing, and I'll get right back to the whole summer of fire thing here. When you start to give yourself permission, you rest into it instead of being like white knuckling. I've got to figure this out for my family reunion. I've got to figure it out by the 4th of July. I got to figure it out by my daughter's wedding. And instead of doing that and white knuckling it all the way, and so I'm going to do something drastic. I'm just going to make something up. I heard somebody talking about a cabbage soup diet, which I know was back in the 80s, but I'm just saying, like, I'm going to do like the grapefruit diet. I'm going to do whatever it takes. And then you already know in your knower that you're setting yourself up for total self-sabotage, because there's no way that it's sustainable. Let me teach you how to fish. I want you to say 5 years from now, because I am advocating for you 5 years from now. I've got you now and 5 years from now, 20 years from now, when you don't have to have somebody take care of you because your health is doing so well, because you learned how to actually do the thing. God, it just gets me so excited. Oh, I don't know if that's going to give me a code. 916680. Hold on. 916. I don't know if that was right or not. And so basically what I want to be able to do is come and walk next to you. I want to be able to actually help you to chunk it out and take ground. Golly, I really wanted to be able to show you that. And I don't think I'm going to be able to. Hold on. I'm going to try it one more time. Okay, I got it. I got it. Hold on to your hat. Okay. So this is Terry, and she sent me, so good morning, Terry. I know she's on here. And just, I just want you to know that what Terry did, and this is what I want to help every single person do this summer. So if you want to be a part of the summer of fire, that is not overwhelming, and it's going to like make you take so much action that like you're just going to feel like you're under this weight of trying to figure it out. But instead you go, doggone it, 2025 is my year. I'm going to take 90 days and I'm going to give myself permission to journey. Well, last year at some point, Terry gave herself permission to journey. Okay. And she literally did what we talk about with the fire method. She changed out her foods. She started the Insulin Smart supplementation protocol that I talk about. I kept teaching every day, Monday through Friday, just like we do right here to like today, 11 a.m. Central Standard Time. We talk about the root causes of insulin resistance. And she literally is on my content all the time because she is hungry to change her life for like ever, like not just for a quick fix. I mean, if you're looking for a quick fix, I don't know how to give it to you and heal your insulin resistance and your metabolic dysfunction at the same time. I don't know how to do that. So then I'm not your person. And I'm so good with that because I am the person who is going to say, let's actually turn back around your insulin resistance and find you a healing measure so that you can like journey on and get more out of life. Like this is so important to my heart, right? Okay. And then I want to be able to give you mindset. So like she did all of it. And this is what she said to me. This was on the 27th. So is this yesterday? It might've been. Good morning, Kirsten. Celebrate with me. When I started this journey a little over a year ago, my A1C was 6.5. My blood pressure was not within normal range and provider wanted to start me on medication for both. I've since changed, excuse me. I've since changed providers and had lab work done for the first time in a year. My A1C is down to a 5.4. My blood pressure was normal and she didn't even blink when I asked for a fasting insulin test, which was in normal range at 6. When I told her I had lost weight, excuse me, and how I did it, she said she wished all of her patients like her, and she's 62 years old, we're in such good shape. I can't tell you how good I feel about myself. Thank you for all you continue to do to help others reclaim their health and their self-esteem. I don't know. Is this you? Is this what you want? Is this what you want to do over the summer? Instead of having another summer where you succumb to every social event, every traveling venture, and every single thing and movement you do is tied to food and the loss of control. Do you want to overcome that? I will tell you exactly how we're going to be able to do that. But you have to want it for yourself. Did you hear the point where she said, I started this journey over a little over a year ago. Now, I happen to know that Terry in 8 months lost over 40 pounds. So if you want to hear the poundage, because everybody wants to know the weight, right? So she's lost over 40 pounds. She's 62 years old. You have to want it for yourself. But I will provide you with everything you need. Okay? All right. So let's get back to that for just a second, because this just fires me up. Joy, good morning. Good morning. Good morning. So basically what we're going to do is I will create a little bit of a structure, like a daily post where you can post your wins for that day. And we'll have different targets that we're going to hit. Protein is definitely going to be one of them. Targeted supplementation is going to be another one of them. You don't have to do the entire total body reset. You don't have to do anything if you don't want to. You can just join in. You don't have to, did you hear me? You don't have to do anything when it comes to supplementation if you don't want to. But for anybody who is looking to accelerate their results, I have a 74-year-old who lost in 5 months 45 pounds over Christmas from August to January. Do you think we can't do this in the summertime? Just saying. So if you want to accelerate your results, that's where the supplementation comes in. That's the total body reset or pillars thereof. I can tell you about that in just a second. And we're definitely going to then talk about food. Now, I teach in the group, so don't be confused, right? Sugar, grain, and legume free. And I know that one of you just went, oh my gosh, I could never do that. That sounds terrible. Yes, I know. I'm Italian. I get it. Like, I didn't think I would ever figure this out. But over the last 2 years, what we have done is we have created recipes in the group. And so now all of the recipes that are in the group, just a big fat FYI, Facebook is taking them all down on June 27th because I did them in a live. And so that's what they're doing. And so I am in the process of downloading all of my recipes, and I will then give them back to you throughout the summer, right? Because I was never going to take them away, but I have to reformulate them for you. But whatever I give back to you, if that's not what you're looking for, in order to find a trade out for something that's sugar, legume, and grain free for something that's upcoming, let's help each other out, right? I will help you to find those trade outs. Last summer, I did a few different things. I was going to be traveling, so I made a keto granola, a homemade one. It was phenomenal. It was so good. Did a lemon blueberry bar last summer. That was, whoo, baby, so good. I have made that pan of lemon blueberry bars, and so have many of you, multiple times, because it was something I could take with me to go somewhere. So those are the 3 things we're going to be tracking. We're going to be tracking protein and supplementation, and then food ingredient trade outs as whatever you're winning with or whatever you need to win with. Okay. Because everybody's different. You guys like something. It was important for me to have a lasagna trade out. You may not give 2 hoots about lasagna, but you need a trade out for something else. So let's help you find it, and let's help you navigate for the summer. So who's in? Summer of Fire. It does not, there's no sign up that's necessarily, you just need to show up. But it is in the group, Ditch Insulin Resistance for Women. And I'm going to tell you this right now. As you guys jump into the group, we had so many people join over this last weekend. I know that there are so many people ready for the summer to be helped instead of be hindered. There's so many of you. It's crazy. What I do want to say is the notifications on Facebook groups are this. They are this all day, every day. This is what it's like. It's terrible. You don't see content. I know that I'm a part of 5,000 groups. That's not true. But I'm just saying, we become a part of so many groups. There's no way Facebook could ever possibly show you what's going on in each group. They don't even try anymore. So yes, make sure that your notifications are on. But even more than that, you might need to go and buy yourself a sticky note. Or you may need to put an alarm on your phone that just kind of reminds you, just a reminder every day, check the group, so that you can stay on track, so that you can actually find what it is that you need. Because if you have daily help for 90 days, what do you think that's going to do for your results by the end of the summer? Like amazing. Somebody had yesterday, they picked up the Total Body Reset. And I know that this is going to very much help. Oh, good, Joy. Yep, the recipes would be good to have. I know it matters. And again, Facebook groups have not been the best way to categorize everything. And anyway, it's okay. We're going to figure it out. I will answer that for you, Meg. Hold on just a second. Somebody picked up the Total Body Reset yesterday. And I just know that this 90 days summer of fire, lighting a fire under your health, like setting your insulin resistance on fire, like get rid of it. You can look at it a million different ways. But my point being, this is Facebook only. I'm so sorry. I don't know where else to have groups like this. So it is a Facebook group. I know. I'm really sorry. It's just a stinky thing that Instagram doesn't have groups. I do have a subscription, but I have heard that people on Instagram, but I hear that people can't get in. It says that there's a waiting list, and that's not true. So I'm trying to fix it. On Instagram to give you guys content behind the scenes. Like this morning, I did on the subscription for Instagram. I did like my breakfast and protein and stuff like that. So I try to work with that. I don't know what the deal is yet. I have to call Instagram or something. It's hard. You don't just find a phone number, But anyway, so when it comes to the supplementation, I'm going to give you the quick breakdown, and then I'm going to answer Meg's question. Just because I want you to know what's available to you, and then you can decide for yourself what you want to potentially like start with and or do to take down that piece of your summer. And some of you, you're already set. And one of the reasons why you are already set is actually because you know about the customer campaign. So if you want to get paid $75 every 3 months in order to actually get healthy, like you need to just listen for 2 seconds, okay? Just listen up for 2 seconds. I don't know of any other company that is doing this. I'm just going to tell you straight up. This is the best campaign I've ever seen. When you purchase $150 or more every month, on that third month, and this is an ongoing rotating thought process, the third month you get $75 off. So just think about this for a minute. Like you could even be doing this, setting yourself up for the summer. May, because May is not done yet, not till Saturday. You can jump in right now. You can do May, June, July, and July, cha-ching, $75 off. Who else is paying you to get healthy? We know nothing's going to be covered by insurance. We're not stupid, right? So nothing's going to be covered by insurance, you guys. You might be able to like redeem stuff on an HSA, but it's kind of unlikely. It's not very likely because they have parameters. Okay. And of course, then that is, you have to know the own rules of your own HSA, et cetera. So to get paid back on something that we've never been helped with before, nobody ever stepped in to help us with our health and wellness before, and now we can. This is actually something that you need to think about. So let's say you did May, June, July, cha-ching. Or what if you did June, July, August, cha-ching. And then you're already set up to do October, November, December, cha-ching. I'm just telling you, have a long-term thought process, okay? So there are 3 pillars that I talk about. If you do all 3 pillars, it's called total body reset. The first pillar is the trio. These are 3 supplements that have 3 ingredients that help with insulin sensitivity. This is where I started when I was a 2X. And this has helped me to lose 3 sizes in my 50s after my cycle stopped. Okay? This is where I started the trio. Okay, that's pillar number 1. Pillar number 2 is doing the gut reset protocol. It's a gut primer and a probiotic. So if you've had your gallbladder removed, you have IBS, you have Crohn's, and I'm not making claims, I'm just telling you testimonies that came into me. Short gut syndrome, constipation, indigestion, you're super like fatigued and you feel a little slothy because you know that your liver isn't functioning at a high level. You know that you just have brain fog, you're having a hard time sleeping. Fill in the blanks, right? Because your gut is literally your world. Your gut is everything. It's tied to your mental health. You get the picture. So a gut reset protocol is a primer. And I just used my last scoop this morning. It looks like a greens product, but it's not. It has 6 different blends in it to help recalibrate your gut. Let's heal and seal your gut. Okay. Those are my words, not claims. And then this is a probiotic. It has 5 alive strains. And it has stick to the gut technology and stay alive technology. I don't know of anybody else that has that, where literally the whole goal is to keep it alive so it can actually do what it needs to do inside of your gut. So if you're looking for the gut reset protocol, that's what that is. That's pillar number 2. Pillar number 3 is the orange pixie stick that I talk about all the time. Literally tastes like candy, like you remember as a child, in those either paper straws or the plastic straws. And you take one and you put it on your tongue like this every morning. I already did mine for today. You do 90 days on, and then you take 30 days off. And the inches that people are losing are very remarkable. I have posted in my stories and at the top of my Instagram page some of the testimonies. It wasn't letting me post to my highlight bubble the last time I posted testimonies, but many, like inches, 3 inches off, 3.5 off of under the bra, 3 inches off of the waist, 2 inches off of the hips, and you can do it in rounds. And why do you take 30 days off? Because it's a thermogenic. You don't want your body to get used to it. So I love it as a treat. I have somebody that came to an in-person event that we just did over Mother's Day weekend. And she said, this is what I do with mine. She said, I buy those Baked Belief chocolate chips. So y'all who are on this, listen to this. I buy the Baked Belief chocolate chips and I take like 3 of them. And I take my orange pixie stick and I eat the 3. So she's got a chocolate and orange treat happening when she eats it. And I'm just telling you, it's basically a fat burner. This, in my opinion, is the technology that we waited for. When we were back in the 80s and the 90s and we thought, well, it'll be too good to be true. When they can, give us a pill to lose weight or whatever, and it's not speed. It's not something bad that gets banned off of the shelves of Walmart like Metabolife. This is the technology we've been waiting for, in my opinion. And does not raise your blood sugars, and it tastes like candy. So that's the 3 pillars. All 3 of those together is called the total body reset. So it depends on your level of acceleration that you're looking for, but you have time to grab whatever and reach out to me if you don't know. It's okay. Just, you don't have to know. Like if you're confused, a confused mind does nothing. If you literally leave and you do nothing, then you will spend your summer maybe circling the drain a little bit, right? Or if you're like, I feel drawn and I do something by reaching out and just asking me questions like, okay, so this is kind of where I am. Like, what do you think would be the best for me? I'll tell you, and I'll even give you like a customized cart. And maybe some of you totally don't even need or want the total body reset. Perfect. That's okay. A lot of people start with just the trio. Remember, no shame. Don't feel bad for starting at a different point than somebody else. But yet on the other hand, if you know you want acceleration and you need to go all in because you have, a trip to Europe coming up in October and you need to like dive in, or you have a wedding of a grandchild, that was the most recent one that I received in October, then I can help you accelerate. So just reach out to me, get into my messenger, get into my inbox. I have a phone number that you can text me at. It's on my profiles, etc. The question that Meg was asking, and you have time to get whatever you need and like jump in. We're going to start the 5-day reset starts on Monday. That's the monthly one that we do, 3 p.m. Central Standard Time every day, Monday through Friday. And then I will also start where you can start like checking in and tracking certain things. And I will lay that all out for you in the group coming up. But you will have to be mindful of checking the group because the notifications, remember, they're kind of stinky. So Meg is asking, why are legumes bad for you? They are so high in protein. So this is one of the best, or this is one of my favorite things to teach. Not because it's easy for people, but because I feel like there are so many people that have really good intentions inside of them, and they really are motivated. I attract a lot of motivated people. That's who usually ends up on my content. You are motivated to deal with your insulin resistance. Come hell or high water, you're going to figure this out. And you are just 2 steps away from giving yourself permission for a journey. That's generally who I connect with. And that works out really well because then it's easier for you to set things aside. When you are insulin resistant, number one, God never made bad food. He didn't. He made everything that was good for our bodies. We have just messed up the universe a little bit when it comes to how our bodies now are responding to being insulin resistant. And it is a freaking epidemic. I mean, literally like upwards of 80% of the United States has a metabolic dysfunction. They have metabolic syndrome. They're insulin resistant. High levels of fatty liver, high triglycerides, high everything, blah, 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 just name it. We are just issues waiting to happen, right? So once we enter insulin resistant land, we have to do things a little differently. So when you eat something like legumes, that yes, they are high in protein, but they are also like 40 grams of carbs per cup. Pinto bean, kidney bean, black bean, navy bean, like 40 grams per cup. That's more than your daily intake should be when you're insulin resistant. So it's very easy. Oh, I'm going to go to Chipotle and aren't black beans good for me and blah, blah, blah. Well, it's spiking your sugars, calling your pancreas to release insulin, release, so that the insulin can go and grab the sugar now that was created by the beans and put it into your cell. But this is the issue. The cell went, door closed. I am resistant to insulin. The lock is on the gate. No more. And so now your pancreas says, well, I must not have created enough insulin. More. Inflammation rises. You feel like trash. It's a fat storing hormone. So it just can't wait to deposit all the fat in your liver and around your organs and your back fat and your belly fat. And it just becomes this frustration. And you're like, why can't I lose any weight? Why does nothing work for me anymore? Oh my gosh, this is so frustrating. I must just be getting old. It's normal to be on meds. I'm not sleeping. Nobody else is either. Oh, well, I guess this is just the American dream, right? Is this what the American dream is, people? Like, seriously, this is what happens. So to be able to teach that piece to go, no, I understand. This is why it is challenging. I was talking to somebody this morning, just giving her a little voice message. She's vegan. And I said, okay, so this is the deal. And if anybody is vegan or vegetarian, this might be for you. So the challenge with somebody who's on a Mediterranean diet or they're vegan or vegetarian, which then they're choosing more of a Mediterranean diet, closer anyway, because they're getting all their protein from grains and legumes. Spiking sugars, calling on more insulin, the cell is resistant, and now they are in the cycle. Round and round and round she goes. Where she stops, nobody knows. And it's just a constant cycle of increasing all of the frustrations inside of your systems. Okay. I have somebody who she was on a Mediterranean diet. So she was doing like homemade sourdough because again, all of this information out there, sourdough is better for your sugars and blah, 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 blah. Grain is grain. But okay, she was still going to choose a Mediterranean diet. That's fine. But what she did was she counteracted it with, instead of taking one of the glucose, this is the trio, remember? The trio is helping with your liver and your insulin and your sugars and your metabolism and your visceral fat. Okay. Like that's the trifecta. This is the this is how they synergistically work together. She took the glucose one. So if you're already on the trio, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And every time she ate, she took 2 of these instead of 1. And that was enough trace minerals to overcompensate what she was eating in sourdough for herself. Now, to my knowledge, she did not have a continuous glucose monitor. So if somebody has a CGM, you're going to be able to know your own world, like test out your own world, people. Okay, but that's why legumes are kind of a no-go. Now, the one exception that I make, and I always talk about this, occasionally, I like to eat peanut butter. And especially like if I'm traveling, because it's an easy grab. I can have a jar of peanut butter. I only buy peanut butter that is peanuts and salt. So I usually buy Smucker's, organic, chunky. That's what I buy. But if I have like a little jar of peanut butter on me or a container or whatever, and I'm traveling, that's an easy little bit of a treat that I can grab if I'm at a business conference, etc. Right? This is because nuts in general, but peanuts are legumes. And so basically peanut butter is not a protein. It's a fat. It's a fat. So it's not something that I keep on me all the time because I will overeat it. And then I'm mindful of the carbs that it's giving me and the fat because there's a lot of fat in the peanuts. This is what is so frustrating. I begged for a nutritional counselor and she droned on about how beans are the ideal food for insulin resistance Before it's carbs, you quickly burn. So much bad info and terrible advice from experts. I know, Meg. I know. And again, you guys, you know what? So I'm not a doctor, right? I'm not. But I'm just going to tell you, like your best friend, like let's just pretend we're having a cup of coffee right now. When my dad died of type 2 diabetes, I should have been the one in the family that was type 2. I had already been gestational diabetic with my first baby. My weight gain with my babies, and then in my 30s, I ate everything that was white and full of sugar. By the time I was in my 40s, I knew my body was not responding, and it freaked the out of me. It did. And my mother was really on me about it, etc. So when I changed things, and then I ended up with frozen shoulder, which is another sign of insulin resistance, which I didn't know at the time. I mean, I was ripe for type 2 and medication. So I go on this journey and I start to use supplementation, the exact stuff I talked to you about. Like, I didn't make this up last week. This is how I started a little over 10 years ago. And I noticed that like my cravings go away, my appetite's under control. I'm like, changing out my foods and able to make better decisions. And I start to go on this journey because I'm like supporting my body from the inside out and it's working. And I'm like, this is kind of cool. I start telling a few people about it, etc. Locally here in the Minneapolis area. And I had one guy who was like, hey, psst, psst, can you order me some more of those diabetes pills? I need some more of those diabetes pills. And I'm like, well, I can't call them that because I would never make a claim like that. That would be irresponsible and against whatever. Like, I can't do that. Anyway, but that's what he would say to me. Well, so he texts me one day. He just gets out of the doctor and his labs are good. And his weight, like he had dropped, I don't even know, like 20 pounds, and his labs are good and all this stuff. And he was so mad that his doctor never told him that this was reversible. So they were like just as shocked as he was at the same time. And he was so mad. Fast forward, I have somebody else locally who was type 2, having a hard time getting her sugars under control. And she goes to the doctor and she says, I'm having a hard time. What are you eating? This is what I'm eating. And she said, I actually wrote down the whole list of what I was eating in a day, and I leaned it towards the bad. She said, I did this purposefully. I leaned it towards like a day of like quite a bit of more carbs than normal, etc., according to what she had been learning all of these years, because she's been type 2 for a long time, from her diabetic nutritionist. And the doctor literally said this to her. Oh no, you're fine. You can have 45 grams of carbs at every meal. And then proceeded to tell her that all she had to do was go from a pill, pretend this is like MET, just go from a pill to a this, and probably in her belly. That's all you have to do. But you're fine. She was so pissed, so mad, could not believe that that's what she was being told as a type 2 diabetic. That was her wake-up call. She went, that's it. Taking this into my own hands. I'm done with the medical community. I'll do it myself. Because she had been for quite some time checking her sugars on her fingers. Like, she knew. She was no dumb bunny. She wasn't new to the type 2 world, right? So she was mad. So I agree with you. And when I started to hear, Meg, the conversations that you were having in my back pathways of messaging, whether it was my messenger or my Instagram or whatever, texting me, you were then coming and telling me, I can't believe this is what I've been told, or this is what I've been told, or this is whatever. And just like that, Meg, and I'm just telling you, anybody who wants to actually gain ground, there are some of you, not all of you, but there are some of you, you are in a pickle. You're in a pickle. And you're like, It's not about my weight right now, even though it is. Like, I understand I need to lose weight and I do want to lose weight. And gosh, it sure would be nice if I could, change some sizes. But to be really honest, it's my labs that are freaking me out. And you're trying to hold back the stress of that. You're trying to hold it together because your doctor just scared the what out of you. And so some of you are in that position. And so this is where I go with that then, Meg, is listen, if you need to make a turnaround and you need to make it yesterday, oh, I'm telling you, you can go grain, sugar, and legume free. You can even really light a fire under you, start targeted supplementation, science-backed choices, not just throwing spaghetti at the wall. I understand you are excited that you're taking magnesium is a big deal. So I don't want to say that it's not, because I do a really mean magnesium ashwagandha duo. If you need to know about that, you can reach out to me. But you're telling me that you're on, well, I do take vitamin C and I do take a multivitamin and I do take see what's another one that is good for you, but not necessary for, and I take a fish oil. Let's just pretend. I'm not against those at all. Listen, I take it all. I take it all. You don't want to know, maybe. That's not true. It's not that bad, but I'm just I'm very targeted. And I was not this way before. But those are not strategic supplementation for insulin resistance. Everything I talk to you about is very strategic for insulin resistance. Everything I talk to you about, okay? It has a purpose. So you can light a fire with that. But I'm telling you that if you will switch out, if you'll do grain, sugar, and legume free, that is a way to immediately stop the spinning of your wheels. So that's where then yesterday we talked about protein and choosing, instead of choosing protein that has some fat in it, like a sirloin steak, always choosing fat. What was the word that we used yesterday? Like fat encompassing protein, like the bacon and putting butter in your coffee. And, it's not what we're talking about. But point being that you can love your life. You can still be a foodie. I am still a foodie. I'm Italian. I thought I had to give it all up. No, my pantry just shifted. You'll see it next week in the group. My pantry just shifted, but I make everything I love out of my pantry. I just do it differently now. So, but I can guarantee you that the healing of my metabolic dysfunction, it's going really well. Really well. I can tell so many positive results over the last 8 years, that since I really nailed down some pieces, 8 to 10 years, 10 years. I always want it to be shorter. I don't know why. I just feel like, I don't know. It's hard to think that time passes that fast, but it's been about 10 years and it has changed everything. So I'm sorry, Meg, that's frustrating. Yep, it is. And you're just going to have to take it into your own hands. You're just going to have to take it into your own hands. But I'm going to tell you something. One of the recipes that we made in the group, and I'm going to wrap up with this because I got a meeting. One of the things that we made were Maria Emmerich's refried beans. She makes it with zucchini. You guys, I am not even joking. She is a genius at recipe ingredient trade outs, a genius. So there are trade outs for everything that you can think of. And that is a part of thinking about the summer of fire, the summer of fire. So if you need to get in to the group for the summer of fire, where you can have encouragement and daily actions, daily things that you can be doing and getting yourself to understand, but also move in the right direction, you have to reach out to me. You have to put a fire in the like in the comments, and I can get you information on the group or the supplementation, whichever it is. You might already be in the group, but you haven't started supplements, or you might be, you've started the supplements, but you're not in the group, or whatever it is. If you just need to talk to me about having a summer of fire where you actually take ground, you need to reach out to me. Get into my messages, my inbox, give me a fire emoji. I'll know exactly what you're talking about, and we'll figure out what it is that you need next so that we can get started. June is on Sunday. Sunday. It's not like, oh my God. It makes me feel like the summer is already over, and I know it's not, but that's how it is. So, all right. Have the best day ever on the face of the planet. Make today a really, really, really good day. Make decisions and choices for yourself today that will pay you dividends 5 years from now. See who you are 5 years from now. Okay. And then I'm going to help you get there, because that's the person that I'm invested in the most. Okay. So we'll see you tomorrow at 11 a.m. Central Standard Time right here. Today we went kind of long. We haven't done that in a very, very long time. So, all right. Reach out. I'd love to hear from you guys. See you later.